the safest treasure vault. During the time when Jesus was teaching people in Galilee, a rich man was digging in his front yard. What do you think he was trying to do?
He must have been trying to plant a tree.
Maybe he wanted to plant some beautiful flowers.
Yes, that's a great idea. But this rich man was actually hiding his precious treasure in the ground.
Is there a reason to bury treasure in the ground?
I will hide it so that no one would find it.
This man had many possessions. His room was filled with wealth. But he was always worried that someone might steal it. At one point, he stored all his treasures in an underground vault. But the treasures absorbed moisture, became rusty, and got damaged. He also tried hiding them in a secret cave. But when he checked a few days later, everything was gone. His servant, who was moving the treasure, had taken everything and run away. So this time, he decided to hide it in the front yard. From that day on, the rich man spent every day sitting on the front steps, staring at the spot where he had buried his treasure, constantly worrying that someone might take it. Jesus spoke about how to keep treasure safe.
Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal.
The people who heard Jesus' words were confused.
Take the treasure to heaven? How?
The way to bring it to heaven is to share it with the poor.
Isn't that a foolish thing to do?
What does giving to the needy have to do with storing treasures in heaven?
When we use what is precious to us to help others with love, we are giving it to God. Jesus said,
Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap.
Jesus also explained why he wanted people to store their treasures in heaven, saying,
For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
Just as the rich man looked at the spot where he had buried his treasure every day. Storing your treasures in heaven will keep your mind focused on the kingdom of heaven. Children, Jesus tells us not to store treasures on earth, but to store them in heaven. And he says that storing treasures in heaven is the safest way. Even if what you do is small, if you help your neighbors in need with love, God sees it as something great and will repay you greatly. So live your life doing many good deeds. Repeat after Jesus.
But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
Matthew chapter 6 verse 20. Well done. See you again next week. Goodbye.